Let's start with that discretion issue. How could you cabin or rein in the discretion of the Fed without interfering with Fed independence?
Well, we believe very strongly in Fed independence, and we would discourage political interference, and that's very, very important. But I would argue that the extraordinary discretion that has been exercised by the Fed invites political interference. The fact that you have the Fed actually allocating credit, picking winners and losers, in the case of mortgage-backed securities, obviously favoring the housing industry, that kind of allocation of credit, we believe, invites more political interference. Whereas, if we had a more rule-based or strategy-based monetary policy, there would be greater certainty, greater predictability, and it would, and households and investors and businesses would not be left guessing where the Fed is going. So better communication, more transparency, more accountability, we think, is less opportunity for political interference.
Representative Barr, though, you mentioned the lackluster performance of the economy coming off the financial crisis. But, forgive me, right now what's kind of holding back the economy is a lack of productivity gains. And that may require initiatives from Congress to do things that might help out companies and small business. Isn't it kind of left in your quarter at this point and not really a Fed responsibility?
Carol, that's a good point, and we agree with you. Not all of this lackluster growth is attributable solely to monetary policy. In fact, it's a recognition that monetary policy can only do so much. And you're right. I think after 8 years of overregulation, 8 years of a broken tax code, and it's not just 8 years, but a broken tax code for a very long time, and the fact that you have laws like Dodd-Frank, which have produced the lowest level of small business lending from banks in a generation, and entrepreneurship at a 20-year low. The fact that you have those fiscal policies that are impeding economic activity is something that Congress absolutely should take a look at. So productivity gains can be made, and I think with the new administration, the new Congress, we are working to roll back some of those growth-destroying, job-destroying regulations.
Representative Barr, anybody who's followed the Federal Reserve, you take them back 10 years, 15 years, I mean, there's a lot more transparency. They talk certainly to the public a lot more than they used to. Is there something, though, above and beyond the dual mandate of unemployment inflation that you think that they need to have? And we just got about 35 seconds here.
Well, just really briefly, we just want better communication about what the strategy is. We don't want to micromanage Fed policy. We want that Fed independence, but we want the Fed to communicate more than just forward guidance. Less discretion. Forward guidance means nothing if there's this much discretion. We want a strategy and reference rules to communicate to the Congress, to the American people, where the Fed is going on a more clear-eyed basis. And I think that would give actors in the private economy more certainty and help lift our economy.